welcome everyone to the next loose goose adventure, if you will. Today I have a couple things I want to talk about. Hey Cardo, music off. Because today is the first day that I was able to rent out this motorcycle on RiderShare. So I wanted to share a little bit of feedback from that process. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. I don't have a mic adapter set up to have an in-helmet mic. I know if you've been to my channel before, you know I mostly do dirt biking stuff. Little off-roads in the woods, single track is usually what I prefer, and the audio recording on those is usually a little bit better because it's slower speed. But out on the road, the GoPro Hero 6 doesn't do well even with a foam windsock on it, which is what I've got going on. So I'm gonna try and do a little bit of slow stuff. That way you all can hear me as we go downtown and sing Joe. So as I was saying, the main thing I wanted to touch on today was, you know, would you rent out your motorcycle to anybody on an app like RiderShare? And if you're not familiar with RiderShare, it's kind of like Turo. You list your bike, you and a renter take a bunch of photos of it. RiderShare provides a commercial insurance policy. They rent the bike for at least one day, but I think you can do discounts on multiple day trips. And they get access to your bike. And although they have to put down like a $2,000 credit card security deposit, they have access to your bike and they can go anywhere, do anything essentially, unless you say specifically don't go there. But I don't know, unless you have a low jack, I don't know how you'd stop people from, you know, taking your bike and doing a bunch of dumb shit with it. So this is my first ride on my bike after I rented it out. I really wanted to get out and ride it. It's a pretty beautiful day out. And as you can see, we're headed towards the beach. It is beachy season here, even though I think it's like 70 degrees outside. We live in a tourist trap. So we got a bunch of tourists today, which is fine. I'm gonna catch some views. But yeah, I've got my 2020 Triumph Scrambler 900. And yeah, it's flawless. I think I've got just under 2,000 miles on it. Bought it new, still have payments on it. So what was I thinking? Why would I rent out this motorcycle? Is that even a smart thing to do in general? But I kind of think of it, this way, because I've actually used this app to rent a motorcycle when I was down in Florida for Forgotten Ankles Camp out in March. I used RiderShare to rent a bike, and having that access to someone else's motorcycle is a pretty amazing thing, and it's something that I'm glad to see more people in the industry doing, because at the end of the day, this is just an object. I'm not a human being, and bikes are meant to get ridden, and I'm fortunate enough to own several motorcycles, so why wouldn't I want to allow others to ride my bikes? And I can make a little bit of chunk of change doing it, and I do mean a little, which gets me to, you know, what is being an owner on RiderShare, what does that look like? And I can tell you from this listing, my Triumph Street Scrambler 900, because I have payments on it still, I opted into an upgraded insurance policy through them. So there's a standard and then there's premium. I went with premium, and the way that this all works is that it just the RiderShare team, they just take a bigger portion, a bigger percentage of your listing price out of your payment. So This listing I think was for like 55 bucks or something like that for a day. And if you do 2, I think it's 50 bucks. And if you do 5, I think it goes down to like 5 or more, $43 a day. So I think you get the point. But so yeah, my listing was 55 bucks, but at the end of the day, I'm only going to take home about 38 bucks, I think, because I have to pay rider share a portion of that, which is fine. They hold the commercial policy. They're taking all the risk and making it happen and making this an opportunity for not just me, but people like me. So again, kind of going back to who's using this app and why are they doing it? Well, personally, I'm not a reckless person. I drive pretty conservatively on the road. I like to go fast, but I do so, you know, with a calculated risk assessment, if you will. And I'm not hooning around doing wheelies. And yes, if you have, if you're one of those people, you surely can go rent somebody's motorcycle and hoon out on their bikes on rider share. However, I mean, there's a $2,000 security deposit for a reason. They kind of got you from the onset. Like, you have to be able to financially pony up in the event that something happens as a renter. So that's why I feel pretty comfortable with the idea of renting out my motorcycle, because at the end of the day, again, it's just an object, and if something happens, the renter and rider share are they're gonna have to cover the cost of any damage, which I think weeds out a lot of the people that wanted to ride a bike just to hoon out on it. And in my area, there's really not that many listings for rider share, which is a whole other reason why I wanted to do it. Southwestern Michigan has a ton of beautiful roads, and there's a ton of people that ride motorcycles, myself included. But if there are other people in the community that want to, you know, if they want to enjoy some of the sights and scenes around St. Joe and the surrounding area, and they don't have a motorcycle, this would be a great opportunity for somebody like that is interested in motorcycling, but maybe they haven't fully committed yet, or they want to try a motorcycle before they buy it, because that's a whole other component of motorcycle ownership. A lot of dealerships, especially like, you know, Harvey Danielson, shout out Jeremy, they don't let you test ride a bike at every dealership. And that makes sense, because how do you trust a complete stranger to, I mean, with those bikes, $20,000 or $30,000 a bike. So access to a bike before you want to actually buy it, like to ride it before you buy it, it's fairly limited. So this app brings that opportunity into play, and it does so in a way that protects the financial risk of doing so. Alright, on a slight hill, a little tricky. It's probably a terrible day to go downtown, but that's okay. Doing it for the vlog. Motherfucker's trying to pop out at me. Yeah, already a pretty bad idea. It looks like we got maybe like a farmer's market or something going on. I live here and I don't even know about this. But people from Indiana and other parts of Michigan come into our city every weekend. Oh. Yep, no problem. Beautiful area. So who do I think that, from an owner's perspective, who do I think rider share is for? Well, me personally, I think you can't be that guy that treats your bike like a baby. And you're probably the perfect candidate for an app like this, because you don't ride your bike enough. You love to put on parts, buy parts and accessories, make sure it's always clean, but you're not putting the miles on. It's just depreciating in your garage. having an app like this is actually good for your bike, because it'll allow other people that want to ride bikes like yours get you know, get the wheels dirty and keep the gas flowing through it. Sitting, you know, letting bikes sit and ride is not good. It's not good on them. You got to keep running them. But I think motorcycle owners like to really baby their bikes and treat them like precious objects, and to some extent they are. But people are just not as rough on bikes as I think the perception is. Perception is not reality. There are people that are dumbasses that ride motorcycles, but I think a good chunk of people are just happy to get out and ride, and that's why I want to share my ride. That being said, because I am constantly buying new shit, I would probably sell this bike. So that does change things. It's like, once you've already gone into the mindset of I'm willing to sell this bike, so I don't necessarily care about it as much. If something happened, I don't care. I'll collect that insurance check and go, I don't know, either put it in the bank or look at something else. But yeah, currently I own 5 motorcycles, 2 of those being dirt bikes. One of those dirt bikes is actually plated to go on road if I so choose, which I don't most days, but I could. But I did, I've gotten to ride an adventure bike, my dad's 1290 Adventure, and if he's watching, hello Dad. And that bike, man, that bike freaky fast, like, you know, like that sandwich joint, Jim the John. Probably faster than Jimmy John. Anywho, just saying, sometimes you gotta scratch that itch. And once you've owned a bike that you don't really feel like is scratching that itch anymore, you move on to the next one. And I think that's where I'm at right now. On to the next one. I'm gonna turn there, but okay. This is one of my favorite spots, so go and look at the lake in all the city. I think the property, even though these homes like in other cities would be not that expensive, they're just, this is a $500,000 view, actually, maybe even more than that. It makes sense. It's beautiful. Oh, they're for sale. I'm sure they love people like me, just constantly doing a scenic overview of their property. If you made it into the video this far, I appreciate you hanging around. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. It's not over yet, but just wanted to at least throw that reminder out there. I love to see the new faces on the channel, and it helps me get a better sense of the direction of where I want to go next. As some of you may have noticed, I updated the channel name just to Loose Juice, drop the outdoors. Even though everything I'm doing right now is outdoors, I don't know, wasn't in love with the name, sticking with the Loose Juice. Call me Juice. But I also updated the icon, and I am making stickers. They should be in on the 13th. I'll have some stickers for the channel with my new icon. Little juice box. Pretty pumped about that, because I want to be able to bring them to camp out at the quarry and other events in the future, or any of my dirt biking events. If I can start a fan base there, that'd be pretty sweet. Sometimes you gotta feed her the onions. Man, it's a beautiful day to ride. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and now let's just pop into here. So if you made it this far, again, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go ahead and continue on and go put some more miles down, but let me know in the comments, would you rent out your bike on RiderShare? Or what are your thoughts on apps like RiderShare for expanding access in the community? And I think they're doing a great job, but let me know what you think. Again, hit that thumbs up button. That really helps out, especially early on in the channel development. Let me know what you want to see on the channel. Obviously, some of you know I do dirt biking stuff, motorcycle stuff. I'm going to be doing some longer distance stuff coming up, but if there's anything else you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for joining.